Thank you, Chair. And Leader, this weekend the Ladies Gaelic Football Association introduced a new policy allowing for trans-identified teenagers to play with and against girls and women. This decision flies in the face of globally recognised medical and scientific evidence, such as the evidence that the Irish Rugby Football Union based its opposite decision on. Previously, the IRFU used the testosterone threshold method of assessing the risk resulting from male players engaged in full contact sports with women. After an in-depth review of the operation and suitability of this test, the IRFU scrapped it. Peer review research has shown the physical difference between biological males and females showed advantages in strength, stamina and physique brought about by male puberty are significant and retained even after testosterone suppression. A year on, the LGFA have decided to go the opposite direction. They greenlight biological males participating in women's sports based on increasingly defunct testosterone threshold. Their policy gives no information to clubs on safeguarding, does not address the consent of other players, does not mention the rights of women and girls already in the sport, or give sufficient consideration to the clear risk of injury to female players from bigger, stronger male players. The LGFA said its new policy followed a lengthy and detailed consultation process, yet declined to say what exactly consultation it undertook, and no players or clubs reported having been consulted. It is not clear what scientific evidence, if any, the LGFA based their decision on. Had there been any real consultation, the result would have been obvious. A Sunday Independent Ireland Thinks poll carried out last year posed the question, should transgender women be allowed to take part in sporting activities against other women? 17% of the respondents said yes, 15% were unsure, and a whopping 68% gave a no response. Obviously, the public do not exist in the same ideological captured NGO bubble that many key decision makers in this country do. The vast majority have not yet learned to reject the evidence of their eyes and ears. One player interviewed by The Independent said that the testosterone levels stick out a mile. To me, this is dangerous. Clubs and county boards have been encouraging teams not to use younger girls in women's matches because it's dangerous. But now they want transgender women to take part. How are we supposed to encourage young girls to play when there could be a man on the opposite team? She stated that while she had been playing Gaelic since primary school, she feels as though she had no longer encouraged young girls to pick up the sport given the new policy. This is a shocking state for women's sport to be in, when lifelong players can no longer in good conscience recommend getting involved to the next generation. And I urge everyone involved in women's Gaelic football to contact their local club and their county reps and let them know that this policy does not serve women and girls of this country. Thank you
very much indeed.
Senator Keogan spoke this morning about the LGFA decision in relation to allowing transgender girls to play in Gaelic football games, as to Senator Sherlock and Senator Lorraine Clifford-Lee. All three senators took slightly different views, two in favour and one opposing. I think it's fair to say that the debate is quite divided. Senator Keogan, you represent the views of many people, as do Senators Sherlock and Senator Clifford-Lee. My hope is that in this particular issue that we don't go the same way that the United Kingdom has gone and other jurisdictions where it has become extremely toxic, and at the end of the day, I don't think it serves any particular purpose, but respectful debate and acknowledging that there are very, very differing views in this issue, I think are, and Senator Keogan, you mentioned the different view that the IRFU took and the different approach they took, I think is illustrative that this is not an issue that there's consensus on. And that there are differing views on it and quite opposing views. But needless to say, I think it is the right of all members to raise issues in the House, and as long as we are respectful in how we make those points, and that's very important.